Hey, business coaches. Coach Curtis Found here. So, today's live, I'll just give you the title. It's the Burnout Business Model. So, why coaches work themselves into the ground and what to do instead. Okay? So, the goal, right, was never to be fully booked all the time, right? Fully booked just means you built a ceiling, right? The goal is to build a business where your income grows faster than your hours, right? It's like we don't want to just replace work with a business, right? There's more to it. So here's the sorry, my Zoom just popped up. So here's the painful irony, right, of most coaching businesses. The harder you work, the more clients you take on, the more successful you appear, the closer you actually get to burnout, resentment, and the slow erosion of the thing that made you want to coach in the first place. Okay, I've experienced this a couple of times. Really, really once big time, but a couple of times. Once in the beginning, and then again. So, because a business built entirely on your personal time has only one growth strategy, right? Work more. Okay, and there's a biological limit to how far that strategy will take you, right? So I've been coaching business owners, as I mentioned, for over 26 years, right? Started my career, if you don't know, for a gentleman named Tony Robbins. He personally recruited and trained me to be one of his founding coaches. It was just a handful of us. And, he's made coaching popular. I think it's really gotten to as big as it is, mainly because of people like Tony. But I'm going to show you the shift in business design that allows coaches to grow their income without growing their hours. Okay? So let me describe the fully booked trap in its most common form. Okay? You work hard, right? You get clients, you deliver excellent results, right? And your reputation starts to grow. More people want to work with you, right? Than you have time for. So what do? You raise your prices, right? Which is the right move, by the way. Okay? But then you're still fully booked, right? So nothing there has changed, right, in your life, other than maybe you're making some more money. But you know, it's like the same workload, just at a higher price point, right? And you're still trading time for money. And it's probably not the reason you got into coaching, right? You're doing this one conversation after another, right? One conversation at a time. So the income ceiling has moved up, but it still exists, right? And so every hour you spend with a client is an hour you can't spend doing anything else, right? The coaches who break through the ceiling are not working harder than you. They're not more talented than you, right? They've made a specific shift in how they design their business. They've built what I call leverage into the model, right? Into their business model. Meaning they've identified specific ways that their time, their expertise, their reputation can generate revenue that is not directly tied to how many hours they personally deliver each day. Like we said, there's a limit to that, right? You only have so much time in the day. And if you're doing 30 to 45-minute coaching calls, maybe up to an hour, some people, there's a limit to how many you can do, right? So this is not a passive income fantasy I'm talking about, right? This is specific, practical business design. And it's available in every single coaching niche, right? There are 4 primary leverage mechanisms available to every coaching business, right? So The first is group delivery, right? And you've probably heard of that. So instead of serving one client at a time, right, you serve 8, 12, 20, right, in the same session. Your hourly rate effectively multiplies by however many people are in the room, okay? So this is the fastest way to leverage your coaching business, right? Now, the second is productized knowledge, right? So taking your knowledge and turning it into a product, right? So you identify the most common problems your clients have, right? And you build a structured resource. Maybe it's a course, a guide, a toolkit. Like I have a business academy, right? That addresses those problems without requiring your live time to be there to deliver, right? So this doesn't replace one-on-one work, by the way, and that's become a pretty common thing I've seen lately in the last few years, where all these internet marketers, coaches, I say that jokingly because a lot of them call themselves coaches. They're really just internet marketers selling products and products and stuff. But it doesn't replace one-on-one work. Nothing can replace one-on-one work. I just I won't get into it, but I hired a coach and he's wrong. Okay, I hired him for specific things and he's wrong. He said that the one-on-one model is dead. Absolutely not. There's absolutely no way you can get the results in a group program that you get in a one-on-one coaching relationship. Okay, now granted, not all coaches are created equal, right? But, working one-on-one with a coach, there's absolutely no way you can get that kind of result in a group program as opposed to working one-on-one with a coach. Okay, absolutely no. That's false. Anybody tells you that, they're lying, or they just don't know what they're talking about. Okay, I'll be very blunt about that. What group coaching does is it supplements it, and it serves a market that cannot afford or access your personal time, right? So the third is a tiered access, right? So you design 3 levels of engagement with you. So it's, it might be a self-directed model, right? A group, or a personal one-on-one tier, right? So you have different tiers, okay? So clients enter at the level that matches their budget, right? And they can ascend over time. So maybe they can't start off with you one-on-one, but they can start to learn the strategies. I just had somebody do that. They're just not in the place where they can jump right in. They work full time. They just don't have the time, right? So we got to gradually move them into where they have the time. So you have an ascension model. You have different tiers that they can enter in. So he wanted to learn the basics. He wants to become a business coach, but he's got to, he works crazy hours. So what do you do, right? So anyway, so I gave him access to my academy because he wants to learn the business fundamentals. Okay, he can't even get into the group coaching yet, right? Because he just doesn't have the time. So he's going to learn the business fundamentals, and when he feels, when he feels ready to go to the next level, he'll go to the next level, right? So this is the so anyway, so that's another way to create multiple revenue streams in your business. Sorry, excuse me. The fourth is the licensing or certification model. Okay, so you build a system for teaching what you teach and train other coaches to deliver it. All right. Your methodology generates revenue through their practices with minimal ongoing time from you. So this is the long-term play. This is the longest leverage play, but it creates the most durable, scalable income. And that's something I do. Okay, and most of my time now is spent on the long-term play, right? Coach thousands of people one-on-one. Coach thousands of people through a group. Sell the courses and the programs and all that stuff. Now it's how do I help other business coaches, right? And I do that through a licensing model, and I literally give them everything I have and put their name on it. So I'm running a free workshop in 2 weeks, okay, specifically to show you how to build leverage in your coaching business, teach you the model that I use, okay, and I'm going to show you which leverage mechanism makes sense for you based on where you're at, and without disrupting what's going on for you right now. And if you'd like access to that, just drop leverage in the comments or DM me leverage, and I'll send you a link, a registration link to register. It's absolutely free. I'm not even going to pitch or sell anything. I'm going to go through the system with you, and if it's something that you're interested in implementing in your own business, then you can schedule a call with me to discuss it, because I don't let everybody in. But I want to show you the model so that you can model it for your own business, okay? So if you'd like to do that, just drop leverage below. If you have any questions or comments about this, please let me know. And I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you again soon.